Action.
Hello, so welcome to our first episode of Queer Essential. I've been practicing obviously the vocals. I am Simeon Simms. Hi, I have to my right.
Amor Wilson, hey.
To my left.
DJ, aka Rouge.
For Samba.
Cartell Lowe-Vidal.
And together we are one of the panels of Queer Essential, so thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like being a gay black man. And I'm going to start asking questions, and I'm going to start with Phil. I know, you got scared. Get that fan out. So first question. So do you think racism exists within the gay community?
Of course it does.
Why?
It's in so many different forms though. It's hard to just pinpoint one. But there's racial fetishism for one. There's like segregation in clubs. There's it's just there's all sorts, and I think a lot of it is structural. It's a lot of structural racism. So definitely yes.
Okay. And next I'm gonna say Cartell. Same question.
For me,
yes.
Definitely. I'm just going to relate it to sort of apps like Grindr, Hornet, that give you the option to sort of choose a preference. And to think that in this day and age, we're still sort of going by, colour and race and everything when we choose a partner. It's quite weird. So I don't think the apps would really include that, but they do. So I definitely say there's racism around. Excuse me, guys, I'm a little bit weak.
Can I add to that?
You want to add to that?
So the interesting thing about Grindr is that they've got this whole Kinder initiative where they want people to like be nicer to other people, and they actually want to cut down on the racism on the app. But then, like Cartell said, you can select which race you want to come up. So it's kind of anti, like it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. It's keeping racism alive essentially. You're not actually getting a chance to know whether, for instance, I like all races.
But is racism or is just what you like though?
No, there's a preference.
Like, there's preference and then there's racism. I feel like I don't particularly not like a race, but I do prefer another.
Have you tried all races?
I have, baby.
All of them? Because there's a lot. I need my map.
Just call me Little Kim, baby.
She's internationally known.
Oh, child.
She don't play.
So if I did this on the map, and you'd just be like,
I'll just stick a pin.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh, no.
No, honestly,
all right.
We believe you.
Same question for Amor. So do you think racism exists?
It's the same thing. I'm just repeating what these two said. Literally, I get I feel racist a lot on Grindr, especially in terms of because of how I am. Being black and being androgynous it's hard on Grindr. You get, are you a boy? Are you a girl? They try to put you in a box, and I don't like that. So I'm just like, okay, cool. It is what it is. But you just have to, push through and carry on. If you want to stay on the app and get that abuse, then fine. For me, I have tough skin. Have been since day one. Can't help it.
Cool. And same question for you, DJ.
I definitely think there is racism in the gay community, for sure. But I don't think it's predominantly just because choosing who you like. I feel like the people who use it, yes, they have the ignorant comments and they say dumb things. But you need a choice in life. We need choices in life to do what we want to do. So, I mean, because I like something, I don't mean a racist.
And moving on to the second question. Have you ever been a victim of racism, Cartell?
We're all black.
Have I? All black. Only one of us has. I would say I've personally been a victim of racism in the sense that most people think it would be. I usually am the guy that the whites or the Asians or the whoever go, actually, I wouldn't go for a black guy, but actually I'll go for you.
That's offensive though.
But then that's still racial.
So it's
almost
almost
racial fetishism.
Of course, it's almost like,
racism.
you're cute for black, it's racism, but in a kind of it's a slightly different way of being racist.
It's
so it kind of goes back to what we were saying before. It's almost like, I wouldn't date a black guy, but you're quite hot, so there's a stereotype that a black guy is not. So then I become the exception. So in that sense, I've definitely experienced racism, but not in the extent that you might think, where somebody just called me, I don't know, the N-word or whatever. No, I've never had that actually.
Okay. And Phil?
I've written about this, but like, it's the same experiences as Cartell.
Oh, you're a writer? Oh, tell the audience.
No, but like, what happens to me is that it becomes, you're either hot for a black guy or, something about you know, big black cock or whatever. And then as soon as
Oh,
you
what's
say,
that?
Letting the inches out there.
I wish
No,
you
but
could
like-
feel it.
What's the abbreviation? BBC, is it?
I can't
But
stand
like
it.
BBC, I thought that's a program.
as soon as you say I'm not interested or you know you're not my type
Oh,
or
it turns
whatever,
upside
Yeah.
down.
then it turns all the
It
way
turns
upside
all
down,
the
inside
way up.
out.
It's like, oh,
And then
is
it's like,
it?
oh,
Okay.
you black this, you black cunt, you
But
nigger
you was
this,
the
you
first
nigger
one. You
that.
was just here a few minutes ago telling me, adoring me,
Exactly.
worshipping me for these same qualities.
That's
Bye.
like
Then it's
Bye.
racism twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
And that's like
Bye.
when boys try to draw girls and they say, no, you're butters anyway.
Basically,
Same
if you don't know how to handle
thing.
rejection.
You got told no and now you're
Sorry.
upset.
Have a seat.
Have a lolly.
Have a seat.
Well, they tried to have your lolly, but you
Basically.
turned them down.
This one's not for sale. It's not for sale.
Oh gosh, and DJ, have you ever been a victim of racism?
Well, I mean, yeah, I have. And I mean, I'm zero tolerance to it. So as soon as I even like get a hint of it, well, actually, that's a lie. I would be like that before. Now I'm reformed. So now I'll try and educate people.
Reformed?
Yeah, babe, she's reformed. She's changed. I'm not
sure?
violent. No.
You changed? Alright.
Okay.
Turned over a new leaf?
Okay.
Look at me.
It depends what the leaf is.
Look at me.
Sick yes vocals. Come true. Ooh. We'll do harmonies later. Commercial break. So, Amor, same question.
I guess we all have experienced racism. Me personally, I can't say the last time I have or recently if I have, but I live in my own world in a sense of where I try to not let things faze me too much. Behind closed door maybe, but in front of people, hell no. Hell no, it's just not going to happen.
So somebody blatantly come to you and that would...
Oh, it's different.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
So, yeah, that's what I'm
different
saying.
then, honey.
I can ignore it, but
There's
don't
a
come
time
to me.
and a
Yeah,
place.
right, exactly.
There's
Yeah,
time and a
exactly.
place, honey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
But I
yeah,
always try
yeah.
to be professional.
Definitely,
with it.
yeah.
Unless I feel threatened where I have to defend myself, then that's a different situation.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. That's what I've grown. So before I just
Of
jump on it.
course.
Now
We grow every day, honey. Not everybody.
Are you talking about racism in general for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, like, I always find it funny. You know when like white people tell you to go back to your country. It's like I was born in Whitechapel. Like, where am I supposed to go?
Well, it's funny because I remember when me and Sat was at one time, and one lady came up to us and like having a little chat. She was like, "Oh, where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, from London." "Oh no, where's your parents from?" Really, my parents are from Jamaica, but I was like, "London."
Yeah,
"Oh no,
London.
your grandparents, London." What do you want?
It's like that
It's
question.
like,
that
gosh.
question. Where are you from?
Oh, where you really from?
Yeah.
Where your grandmother live? Never mind, because mate, everybody's from somewhere, and then even when they're asking, it's like, "Oh, where are you from?" I bet you're like 1/16 Jewish or something. You don't even know where the freak you from. Everybody mix up. So just take a seat. All right, hallelujah. All right, next question. Do you think being a black man makes it harder being gay? And I'm gonna start with DJ.
About to slide up on that.
Being black man, make it harder being gay. I'll say yes, but that's because I'm a black man who is gay, so I wouldn't experience anybody else's. But from what I've seen, it is harder because, like, you know, I've seen lesbians and who are black and lesbians who are white. Any lesbian in general get treated better than a gay man would, or like a man would say, "Oh, you're a lesbian. Oh, wait, you got a girlfriend? Let's have a threesome." If a man says it, "Oh shit, mate." Do you know what I mean? It's so funny.
Issue.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Some
mate,
problems.
you're ugly anyway. I don't want you. So that's like an issue. So it's hard for black men, and plus you got the stereotype of being black as well. Then you got gay. It's like double whammy. It's like-
Basically.
So yeah.
And same question for Amor.
Just repeating what DJ said, basically, literally, like being black and being gay. I don't know. I've kind of lived in my own world in terms of being gay, whatever that is. For me, that's just the norm. I've been nothing but. So to box it in again, put me in a social category. It doesn't exist in my mind. Being gay is just I'm being myself.
I'm gonna go
People
off the
tell
back
me
of that as
all the
well.
time, "Oh, you're so brave for da-da-da." I'm like, no.
No,
I
yeah.
do me. That's just me on a daily basis.
Pretty much. I'm going to jump off the back of what Amor said. I've actually never had an issue with sort of I'm black and I'm gay. But growing up, my family's been so sort of understanding. My grandparents, the people around me, the jobs that I've worked in. I've never really faced the same struggles as some black gay men would have faced.
Okay.
I think being a man, there is a stigma attached to me that I need to be a particular way, whether that's being black or being white. That's probably the only struggle that I would have faced during that time. But being black and gay, no. But then I was very fortunate to have had hippies for parents and a pastor for a grandmother who is so open and friends that have always been very understanding because of the areas that we grew up in. I know, that's my grandmother.
But can I ask you something? Do you see other black people though, black men, do you see it harder for them though?
I can see the struggle with certain black men. So for instance, like my father growing up was a very metrosexual man. So he had that stigma of trying to be a masculine man, which he is. Going to the gym, working out, but also being somebody who's very interested in getting his nails done and dressing well and teaching me to dress well and, you know, teaching these kids to be completely outside of the box compared to the normal, let's just say, black kids growing up. So I get the struggle of what he had to face to sort of prove himself that he was still a black man. But like for me personally, it's quite nice that I've been able to avoid that a little bit. But I do see it in other people, and I can understand why certain people would be like, there is a stigma or there is a struggle with being black and being gay. And it does depend on the circumstances in which you've grown up in and the area that you live. So that does play a part.
And yeah, growing up, like you said, an important part, because growing up in a certain place or certain country makes a hell of a big difference.
Well, exactly. For instance, Amor grew up in Jamaica.
Yeah, well, partly. Had I still been living there, I probably wouldn't be as comfortable as I am right now. Like, it exists there, yes, but I couldn't be this free and comfortable. Like walking out, who? No, honey, no. But then again, on the flip side, they like this. They just don't know how to appreciate it, or if they should appreciate it, because of what society says. Like, no,
that's
I'm
why
not
they
here for
try
that.
to
I can't live by nobody's rules. I'm grown.
Say that again for the look at the back.
I'm grown, honey. I can't live by nobody's rules.
Hello.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
And same question for Phil.
So, mirroring what everyone else has said, I think there's a few different things though. So there's stereotypes of what it means to be a man, but then there's stereotypes of what it means to be a black man, and then there's the cultural side of things as well. So coming from African or Caribbean background, there's this whole thing of you must have kids and you must have a good job and you must have a good life, and there's a lot of pressure in that, and there's a lot of pressure in trying to please your family or your parents or be what they expect you to be.
And give them crown
So
babies.
I would definitely say it's a lot harder being black and gay than in comparison to, let's say, being white and gay. There's actually there was some data that came out that showed that a lot of African people see being gay as a white thing or a westernized thing. So there's that as well, and there's the stigma around it.
Absolutely. Right, next question. How do you feel when people come up to you and say, and these are strangers, so you ain't met Rachel or Tommy from Adam. I just needed a name. I just needed a name. And they come up to you and say, "Oh, are you gay?" Or if it's Tommy, "Oh, you gay?" That's kind of deep. I'm impressing myself.
Bring out a basic voice. A baritone, honey.
So I'm gonna ask Amor.
How am I supposed to feel? I'm myself, so I feel nothing. But
So a random person just come up to you, this scenario,
yes.
and then, "Are you gay?"
Yes, and?
Oh,
next.
What's that
I
like?
mean, look at me. I mean, look at me. Just look at me. I don't have tits. Not that all women have big boobs or whatever. I don't have tits. I have shadow sometimes. Like, yes, I'm gay. Next question.
And DJ, "Are you gay?"
Are you?
Is that what you say?
I will say that back.
Oh, really?
Depending on what
First
mood you're
of all, I'm very proud of being gay, but it's your
Thank you.
business.
Thank you. No.
Just ask me, have you got changed? Have you?
Oh.
Ask me what time
And
is.
then again, it depends on what reason you're asking for.
No, that's true, but ask me what time is. Is your phone dead?
Oh, nice.
Don't ask me silly questions.
Oh, no.
It's your
Maybe
business. Why don't you
the
ask me
phone is dead.
But, do you like me? Do you fancy me?
Who, me? Are we still in the scenario? I don't know.
Not you.
You saying it with your chest, honey.
Tommy, just Tommy fancy me.
Alright, I don't
Tommy
know.
would fancy you.
Yeah, maybe.
Tommy better not fancy me.
Uh-oh.
How about that? Tommy's got fancy Mike. That's what he wants to do.
That's my name is Tommy. He has to be
Oh,
white.
my God.
Actually, follow me. Don't do that.
Don't
do that. Don't do that.
I'm just asking. Your tone, it's swayed that way, so I'm just asking.
Tommy
Just
could be
asking.
any nationality.
My Tommy is a light, so that's Tommy.
Well, I created him, so he was actually from Hawaii. But
Oh,
never
okay.
mind. But, alright, Phil, are you gay?
I only get it from straight women in gay clubs
Okay.
usually, so it annoys me. I get more annoyed when I'm trying to get into something, like I'm trying to get a club or a bar, and then on the door they're like, "Do you know this is a gay bar?"
Oh, okay,
I'm black.
you get that.
There's
Okay.
literally pictures of me on the walls. Very literally. So yes, I do know it's a good
I
one.
want to see these pictures. I'm gonna write down the names of these places after. But,
Well, it's just that I guess you don't know until you ask, I guess, but it's just we have a lot of stereotypes of what it is to be gay, and not everyone fits in those stereotypes. Either the overly masculine black man or the overly feminine black man. Like not everyone fits on either side of those. So yeah.
Okay. And Cartell?
Phil snatched the words out of my mouth. Literally, everything I was going to say. Phil said. I agree with you. Same scenario, same stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to add to it as well and be like, I absolutely hate it when people ask me.
I don't think business.
And when they say it, I'm just like, yes, I am gay. I'm also black. I'm also a Christian. And I like chicken. And like, I'm all these different things. Like, what? You don't go up to someone and say, oh, are you black? Like... But leave me alone. I am who I am, so I get defensive.
And the person that asks, it doesn't bother me either.
Doesn't bother me.
In the person that's asking,
the sweetest person, I would be like, still nope.
But to compare it to to compare your sexuality to your skin color, like someone can see you're black, no one can see you're gay.
Well, I don't know. These days, it's getting a bit confusing. All these bleaching products.
Oh no, not bleaching. all the tanning products. I mean,
no.
tanning and curling and stuff.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Pause. Go back to what Phil said. No one can see you're gay.
No, you can't tell gay.
No one can.
You can't tell gay. If there's feminine straight men,
It's
can't tell gay.
What I'm trying to say is no one can see that you're gay in the same way they can see that you're black. And we can't compare it on this. That's what I meant.
Because you can assume, but you could not be 100% sure. Because
I'm 99.9%. I'm just saying.
Also, it's not that person asking me. It's just I'm fed up with everyone asking me. So I don't want to.
You might not be gay. You might just dipping in the pond every now and then.
Put your little toe in,
You know
or the
what I mean?
foot. You know,
I've dabbled.
Ooh, child.
I'm just saying.
We'll save that for the next episode.
I'm just saying.
All right, next question. So, have you ever lied about being gay after coming out? Oh, okay. So you've come out the closet. People know. Like you don't have to like.
Last night.
Big parade, but like.
Okay. Who
You're don't get frightened on me.
No, I'm not frightened.
We're dying.
All right. So you've come out, happy, proud, and then someone asks you, "Are you gay?" And then you end up putting yourself back in the closet. Starting with Phil.
Oh God. Yeah. I think when you asked the question, I think a lot about my family. So I came out and my family knew, like the main members, as in like my sister, my nan, my dad, my mum. But because of like what I said earlier about culture and about cultural beliefs and expectations, I always felt like I had to lie to my mum's friends. And then like it just gets draining when they're asking you about girlfriends and shit, and it's like, nah. So I've been in that situation, or sometimes it's not just that, but it's just a situation where it's just safer for you not to say anything. Sometimes it's about safety. So.
Amor, you look like you're ready to say
Go
something.
for it, honey.
You ready, honey?
First of all, I was never in, so there was no coming out. I was never in, honey. I've always been effeminate. Always.
On it.
And it will never change. Never. So, being asked that... No. What is that? What is that? Honestly, what is it?
Well, that's good that you can be.
I've always been this way. I've always been this comfortable.
And just like, this is who I am, and take it or leave it, which is inspiring because
A lot
not a lot of
of people
people. I'm sure they do.
I'm just saying.
All right, same question for DJ.
I didn't just come out as outed, but from when I was outed, for me it was the opportunity to just be like, fuck it now.
Be yourself. Be free.
Like, I was like,
I was starting off at 10, now I'm gonna be 100.
that's what it was, I swear. One day I was like, I can't be, and then I was out there, I was like, shit, fuck it, I was going to go heaven, go even do this stuff, go there. I was kissing someone at the bus stop, I was like, so what? They all know now.
1 minute you did what at the bus stop?
Kissing.
Kissing who at the bus stop?
My ex, obviously.
You was kissing the ex at the bus stop? Okay. Child. How old was you?
17.
Oh, done very well.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Long relationship, it lasted 2 weeks.
Okay. Cartell. Was it Tommy?
No, it was Mike.
He was having an affair already, girl.
Thanks a lot.
Oh gosh. Alright, Cartell, same question.
I'm kind of keeping my head down. No, I've done it loads, especially when I was working for YMCA England. I was surrounded by misguided, misunderstood youth, and so to kind of keep myself going off of what Phil said in the safety aspect, I kind of kept who I was to myself. A few selected people knew, of course, but I kept myself. And I felt really bad for doing it, but it was a survival tactic rather than it being... I mean, when you work with a particular type of youth that are surrounded by sort of homophobic hate, just like, you know, that kind of lifestyle, come from drugs, come from particular backgrounds where it's normal to insult those that you don't know, you tend to want to keep yourself to yourself for the safety of your life. Also as well, the work that I'm doing with these young people and trying to get them out of that, I didn't want my sexuality to be the main focus, so I kept it hidden for that reason. I think looking back, it was a sensible choice, but me being who I am now, I would have kept it real and just been like, this is what I am. But then I was also a 17-year-old boy, so it is what it is. But I did it for a safety thing.
But I mean, it was work related, so it's understandable. And when it comes to work, I don't think that you should be disclosing all your business, especially when you're working with young people, because it's kind of like it's not about that, unless it is about that. Yeah. Like where I've gone into schools and kind of spoke about this particular topic, and they can feel free to ask me questions. But if it's not, like if I'm going to the school to talk about sports, you don't need to know, you know, that certain aspect of my life.
I mean, I'm not about now. For now, it doesn't bother me. Like I talk about it all the time. Where I work now, I'm very openly gay. I think back then there was an element of almost being ashamed of who I was. There was an element of safety around that, and just comfortability, because it was easier for me to say I was a straight guy with a girlfriend and, you know, looking at marriage and kids, than to actually say I'm a gay man and have to face all of that. So there were so many reasons why I didn't say anything more so than it just being one particular thing.
See, but going off the back of what you just said, see now for me, if I was to turn around and tell you, oh, I'm straight, I like girls, would you believe me? Any of you?
I would not.
Any of you? Realistically.
I'm realistically. Keep it real.
No.
I'd say
but
coming from what he said though, it didn't sound like he don't sound like he said he not. He said like he just didn't.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about me.
You personally.
Not him. Not him. Me personally. If I was to turn around and tell you that I was straight or I was interested in girls, would you believe it?
I answered. Go on, guys.
Not straight. I wouldn't know your preference.
I'll take that.
You like.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, see, I've dabbled in the lady porn. Most people know this.
There we go. See?
But because I look a particular way, they assume. And I would again. If it appeals to me, but hey, I'm fluid like that. If I like something, I like something. I don't let, society or people tell me who and what I can and cannot do. Period.
I have never dipped in the lady porn.
Oh, I have 3 times, and that's when I realised it was strictly dickly, honey.
All right, next question. How old were you when you accepted yourself as gay?
Gosh.
Ooh. I'm going to start with DJ.
Ooh. Probably.
And this isn't coming out, this is accepting yourself. Like where you can be comfortable with it and love yourself.
Then there's acknowledging and being comfortable with it. And then there's like... then there's... feeling comfortable enough to tell people. So it's in like 3 stages. So I'd rephrase that to, when did you know, and when were you comfortable with it?
Well, I don't need to know when you know, but it's when you feel comfortable. So when you can say inside, like, because you could be comfortable with it and you still don't feel the need to tell anyone, because you might just.
That's I feel about the person asking.
Yeah, but all of us here have done that,
What's that? Tell people.
Yeah.
Tell people what?
I'm not out.
Wait, tell people what
this
now?
is my coming out party. What do you mean?
Tell people what now?
About being gay. Because we was talking about the stages.
No, but I do feel like you need to add that to it, because if I say I felt comfortable from, let's say, 21.
But this is a selfish point of view, because this is F everybody else.
Yeah, but everyone's story is kind
comfortable, break that down.
Within yourself.
Like I'm gay,
and I'm just going to do what I want to do.
I still feel like it's connected to when you knew.
But why, how?
Because some people have known their whole lives, and some people have realised like in their teenage years. So if I give you a random time or date, then it won't connect to...
No, when you I get what you mean.
Let me start with that. For me, I've always known.
A bit of technical difficulty.
So you always know always been proud.
Always been proud, always knew. Or in terms of when I've started feeling comfortable, like fully embracing who I am and what I do, that would have been, let's see, at the age of 20, maybe 3. I'm 28 now.
Okay.
I was always like this. But going out like this, I used to, in the back of my head, like, oh my God, people looking at me, can they
worry.
Worry. More so for the safety than anything. But then when I think back to my teenage years, I wasn't this evolved. And I used to go out the house, like, a big ass bag, no makeup, face looking all toe up, walking in the hood, may I add. And I wonder, how did I not get my ass beat? Nobody didn't trouble me. But then as you grow older, you start becoming more aware of your surroundings. Back then, it's
Lord.
like, child, he was protecting me from day one.
Amen.
From day one, hallelujah, take me to the king.
All right, so Phil, next question. Well, same question. So, you alright? Oh, so was you gonna come in with harmonies?
No, I heard about it. I was like this.
Oh,
Couldn't find it. You know what I mean?
oh. So, when you came out and when you felt comfortable being yourself.
Okay, so I realized around 14.
Okay.
I wasn't comfortable until I was around maybe 21.
Okay.
I didn't come out until I was 23, going on 24.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm 28 now.
Phil just did. He just proved the point. All three.
Because it's a journey. Look, you can't.
Sorry, look at them trying to take my job already.
Come on,
No,
Phil.
mercy, it's only the first episode. What am I gonna do? Oh gosh! If in the next episode I'm sitting, don't be surprised. You've been replaced.
I'm coming for you, bitch.
No.
Oh,
Yo, you is our fight.
It's just got real.
Fight for this chair.
He's coming for that spot, right?
She's doing
Alright,
Bridget
boxing.
Kelly, honey. She's like, why
Boxing
are you
gloves
resting
is
on the
off.
real tea?
All right. You look so nervous.
Because you know what it is, yeah?
God, are you ready to answer?
Hold on. Yeah. No, because it is,
Yeah.
basically, I just don't know the answer to that question. I'll tell you why though, because I realised when I was gay that ages ago, and I was like, when I went back to girlfriend actually, and I just knew, no.
How old were you?
We was like 16 these times.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I was proud like, that with myself, but I didn't want no one to know.
Yeah.
I think actually the time I actually got really just bold with it was like making my music was probably in like 2000 and I don't know.
That was you expressing yourself.
Yeah,
so it just came naturally.
Yeah. So I guess I was proud about it and I was talking about it. I wasn't really shouting about it until I started doing my music. That's why I shouted about it.
Because when did I meet you when you was in your music?
Shout.
2011 or 10?
And I started that before then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's been a bit of a while.
I'm still quite young though.
Cartell? Same question. Yes.
Don't really want to yes the most. Okay, cool. When did I? Let me just answer quite quick. I think 25. 25.
No. Like
so I got really comfortable with that at 25. So my parents had known my entire life that I was possibly going to be gay. My older sister's bisexual, my younger sister is gay. So I come from a very gay family anyway, and I've got loads of gay cousins. I didn't accept it within myself until about 25. The journey was, 16, stepping on the gay scene, not really kind of understanding it. I met Amor. I was very, what they say, masculine or whatever back then, whatever. And then between 19 and 20, sort of started exploring it sexually, got a bit more comfortable with it, and then 25 finally said, all right, I'm gay. It is what it is. Let's deal with it from now.
Wait, you think you first sex at 19?
I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19, yes. Lovely.
Whoa.
I was 21.
Whoa.
Yeah,
My mind blown, huh?
Women will go around in a circle.
I mean, I've known DJ Brett a long time, so...
I played the fifth. The fifth is pleaded.
Child, I'm scared.
I'm a co-sign that one with you.
Oh, really? Oh, child. It's not what it looks like.
I'm a co-sign that one with you.
Yeah, I've been a question to no.
That's it.
Oh, child.
That's the journey.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
What about you,
All
Sam?
right.
Yeah.
I asked
Come on now.
questions.
Have you tried it?
Let me try it. You got to answer it too.
I'm in this chair for a reason.
No.
I was 19.
19 when you got comfortable.
No. When that question.
Well,
I was
yes,
talking
okay,
about the
19.
virginity.
No. Nobody needs to know that out here.
Oh, but they do now. When I'm making myself all my life. 19. I know. I realised when I was 4 that I was gay.
Right.
I came out from between 19 and 24, and then got comfortable with it at 22. It's my 22nd birthday.
How did you know when you saw what happened?
I fancied one guy. He used to walk past my house every day, and he had the Backstreet Boy curtains.
Oh, good.
That was like, there was a thing, and I just used to sit on the wall, like, and I would remember because I was like in nursery, and you go half day, and then I used to just sit and just watch him like every day on his way home from school. That was my first crush, and I was like, oh, but I didn't know it was like a thing, like, oh, you're not supposed to fancy boys. So I was just like, oh, I really like him.
That's what's really confusing about it, because there's things I look back on in primary school and secondary school, and I'm like, that actually makes sense. Yeah. But like, I didn't know what it was, so I couldn't identify.
I just didn't know what to label it.
Yeah, it's that I just used to have this like weird feeling towards men that I found.
It wasn't weird for me. It was very nice.
He was just like embrace.
But I didn't know what it was.
Don't run from it.
Then there was also the fact that my older brother and my dad weren't in my life like a lot at the time. So I used to always long for an older brother or like a father figure in like let's say celebrities or like TV shows and shit like that. But I didn't realize that it's because I longed for a guy like in a weird way. So yeah.
Oh, bless you. Come on now. Speak. Alright, so next question. Alright, so looking back at your life, what has been, so there's obviously, we're all out here trying to be ambitious and successful, but obviously we have things that have held us back, our personal demons. Name me the main personal demon that keeps popping up in your life that stops you from doing things. It could be sleep, food, Pornhub, whatever. So what is that thing that keeps stopping you from your goals?
Who are you picking?
I don't know. All of you guys just look a bit like...
I can't tell. I haven't picked you first. You need to be stepping in and answering some of these questions.
No, it's fine. It's
alright, cool.
It's fine.
Setbacks in my life. Do you know what? I'm not going to blame it on anything. I'm just going to say myself. I've come from all the means. Like,
what part of yourself?
Me, personally, just my mindset sometimes can be a bit off. So I come from the means, my family made sure that we had great education, whatever, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Me, personally, I was just nosy as hell. So I just wanted to fast myself up in loads of different places. And I think through all of those, they probably set me back sometimes. So there's not one particular thing. Just being curious. I travelled a lot. I went out a lot. I partied a lot. I did what young people do. And each one of those individual things probably would have set me back a little bit, whereas I should have been maybe more focused on honing on one particular skill. I didn't, so yeah, I'm going to blame it on life and my own decisions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd also add to that and say that you're not really taught when you're young that you need to have life experiences in order to figure out what you want to do.
Nope.
So there's that too.
You kind of have to just go through the journey.
Exactly.
I'm not upset about it, to be fair, because it's brought me to this point right now where I'm very grateful for what I have. So I'm not upset about it.
I thought he's going to say you're very grateful to be a part of this show. Like
I mean, of course, always. Let's keep it real. But, we've got a lot going on. So
no, I hear you. Phil?
I'd say mental health.
Okay.
I suffer from like anxiety, I guess, but it's triggered when I feel uncertain about something. Like if I'm at work and then I don't know what's happening or what my future is or so stuff like that, and that can have a knock-on effect and things like that. So I'd say mental health.
I co-sign that. Along with fear and judgment.
Oh, child.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, speak on it, honey.
Along with fear and judgment. I don't like being judged. Granted, where I'm sitting right now, but I don't like being judged. Fear, it keeps me from doing so much in my life. It's like I want to do something, then I start thinking about all the negative things that comes along with, and then I'm just like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. And that's what shut me down and has stopped me from progressing further than I am right now. But do you know what? It's a learning curve. I'm still learning and I'm still on a journey. It's not about the destination, it's about how I get there.
Amen. And DJ?
I would say mental health as well, like, but like for me, it's like it's been my stages have been different. Like I was very when I was growing up, I was very like out there for a person. I was very popular, but then I had issues. I was hospitalized, whatever. And for me, that just really put me in a place where it literally stopped breaks of my life. But then for me, it's like it wasn't a stop; it was a pause. But it was a really big pause. But now I'm getting back to myself again, and so that's really hindered my whole ish.
But I think it would have benefited it.
Pardon?
It's going to help you to grow.
No, it definitely has helped me to grow. It definitely has, but it's like when you're going through it, though, you don't think you're going to get out of it. It's a whole madness. Especially when you've been hospitalized and it's like, whoa, it's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Then being at home and taking medication, then being in hospital taking medication, and not willingly. Do you know what I mean? It's a whole madness. So yeah, that has put my mind frame sometimes in a messed up place, but then I bring it back.
Alright.
So that's what's hindered me.
Alright.
Alright,
So we've moved on to the
We need you
last
to answer this
question
too.
now. This has been fun.
Simeon, you're
Thank you guys for being so honest. The next question that I asked is going to be a quick one. You don't have to tell me why. So when was the last time you cried? Phil?
Monday.
When was the last time you cried? Cartell?
Come back round to me. I cry all the time.
When was... Alright, so this morning.
This morning.
DJ, when was the last time you cried?
No, probably, I don't know.
You're like, what year was that?
Just for all that. Because the snow, all that.
See, I co-signed you, girl.
No,
I
no.
broke this year, girl. It broke around the summertime this year, girl. Life was just too much.
My thing is, life's been that
It
much
was
for me.
too much, girl. I was riding it for so long,
Yeah.
girl. Since the
You
teens,
said
girl. I
you
was
had
like, ha.
I was like, not crying, what crying for?
Got me this summer. I was like, God damn it.
Caught up with me, girl.
But I had to release her, girl.
She
She ain't getting no more, girl.
No,
Unless
she-
mama goes, touch wood. She ain't getting no more, girl. She ain't getting no more. She ain't getting no more.
Oh,
That's when I'll
I
cry.
don't do
But
crying.
then,
Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
I ain't got no tears, girl. They're dust.
Are you gonna ask why?
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't need to
I
know.
don't know when you last cried though.
Alright, so that's all we have time for. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
See what it is, what it is.
Love you guys.
How dare
And
you.
we'll see y'all soon. Simeon Simms, Queer Essential, Milk and Cereal. Please come back.